All right, so welcome Ayush.
Thank you,
So
sir.
we
Good
we
evening.
have good evening. We have your I am Lucknow interview coming up in a couple of days. So let's
Yes, sir.
do a mock PI in I am Lucknow style.
Sure, sir.
So Ayush, quickly, if you could introduce yourself in a couple of minutes.
Sure, sir. So, sir, I'm a fintech analyst by profession, a production engineer by education, and a poetry lover by obsession. My name is Ayush. I belong to Patna, Bihar. I did my basic schooling from there itself. Then I moved to BIT Misra, Ranchi to pursue my engineering. So in college, I was part of various clubs and societies. I was part of like 3 college level fest core team as a core team member. Then I moved to Better Mortgage to pursue the area of fintech. Then I was promoted within 11 months of joining the organization. I was also given a chance of leading a pilot project in the state of Texas. I was awarded the Employee of the Month award in July to like successfully do the same, sir. And like sir, I'm an ambitious person. I like reading, writing, talking to people, and then I like keeping myself updated with the recent news in the surroundings and whatever is going on in the geopolitical situation in the world, sir. So yeah, yes, that's pretty much about me, sir.
Got it. Ayush, I think you are a fintech analyst.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, how do you see the current scenario in the stock market? So what is
So
it? What are the current levels? What is your understanding on the levels? Where do you think the financial part of Nifty and Sensex is going, and what is your view on it going forward?
So we've seen like in initial weeks, last few weeks, there was a sharp decline in the market owing to the deep downing sentiments of people with the Ukraine-Russia situation. But today we witnessed like a 1% upward growth in both Nifty and Sensex. Sensex has like touched almost like we've seen that Sensex is also increased by 0.95%, and like Nifty has also increased by almost 1%. So like the market will continue to be in a bit of uncertainty in the coming days because the oil prices again are like rising to 130 per barrel, and it is being projected by Morgan Stanley to reach up to 150 or 180 also. So I feel it is sort of going on a downward trend. Maybe in the coming few weeks we might see a bit fall also in this part because foreign investors are pulling out their money, and like even our rupee is depreciating at an alarming rate. Like today it is almost been like almost as 77 rupees, sir. So I feel it'll go on a downward trend for a while, sir.
Okay. So, what's your take on the financial players and the bank Nifty falling uh, drastically? So, for example, whenever the overall Sensex falls for like 2.5%, Bank Nifty falls for 4.5-5%. So, why is this happening? Why are banks falling like this?
So I'm not very sure about it. If you allow me, I can maybe take a guess.
Yeah, yeah. Please take a guess.
Okay. So like banks again means what I believe is like banks also have their stocks in means their shares in different companies, and the foreign players, if they take out their money, if they start taking out their money from banks in terms of rupees and start investing in dollars, maybe that's why their price is falling. I'm not very sure about this logic, sir.
Okay.
So
All right. So Ayush, give me a sense of what all have you learned at Better Mortgage. So what has been some of the key highlights of your career so far in terms of learnings?
So when I joined as an engineering graduate. I was very fresh in terms in the mortgage business. So first of all, like I had to learn from scratch what is US mortgage, what are the various elements out there. So initially to adapt, like first I would say was the adaptability. I learned how to adapt in a different situation. I worked hard and made sure that I was up to the level where there were like BCom people, like MBA finance people also working in the same domain. So to come up to a bit of level and work with them, that was one. Second one was learnings would be I took initiatives. Sometimes like it was a bit tough to convince the management, or like when I was training, because earlier in like 4 5 months I started taking initiatives and started training newcomers, because I was someone who used to learn the things and I tried to help them, and this was seen by the management also, and then they gave me the assignment of training other people. So that is one thing that I liked doing, explaining it. Third was like when I was the team lead, so I was like promoted ahead of some people who had more experience than me. So it was like initially it was a bit intimidating, and because the team members were not that uh, helpful initially, and they were not that cordial, but then sooner or later, as they realized that I'm solving their problems, and I showed through various instances wherein I solved a problem, I like extended my shift to help them out, so they realized that I can like be someone who can be there for them. And that is how I feel that I learned how to convince people of my abilities, sir. So these are some of the learnings that I have taken from my work experience, sir.
Got it. Ayush, also, I think because you worked at Better, uh, help me understand what is the size of mortgage industry in India?
I'm not very sure about the size of mortgage industry in India, because like I've been working in the mortgage industry and I was catering to the title insurance part out there, sir. So I have an idea like in US it is like currently on the downside. The mortgage business is currently on the downside because of rising interest rates, and like market sentiments are also going down there because of rising inflation. So current like the current market is saturated, and the interest rates are also going up. So that's a bit of a concern, sir, out there.
Do you think RBI should increase interest rates?
I believe they should increase. Initially, I was not in favor of it because of means we were a recovering economy post COVID, and to help the growth, we were like pausing, increasing the repo rate and reverse repo rate. But I believe, sir, with the oil rates rising beyond a particular level, and it would be very difficult to contain inflation if we are not increasing. Because of this logic, I believe the RBI
So,
should consider
what
increasing the
is
rates.
what is what is more important, growth or inflation?
So I think we need to moderate between them. It's like a
So, if you have
small
to
bit of
choose
inflation.
right now you have to choose between growth and inflation. So, as RBI governor, which one will you choose?
I would, sir, rather focus on bringing down the inflation for a while,
Why?
at least for a while.
Why?
So
Why?
because
Help me understand why will you do this?
I mean, sir, if inflation increases beyond a certain level, we might go into recession. As like RBI governor himself was speaking a few days ago, he said like they are also mulling and thinking about increasing the interest rates.
No. So, if inflation increases, how will it cause recession?
So if like price increases beyond a certain
What
level,
is
then
what
like
is what is recession, Ayush? What is recession?
recession is like degrowth in the economy, sir.
Degrowth in economy, is that complete?
So I'm not very sure about it, sir.
So your degrowth in economy will come because of rate hike or will it come because of inflation? Which is more likely to cause a degrowth in the economy?
I think both are responsible, but
No,
le-
how will inflation cause a recession, Ayush? Tell me logically. Don't tell me what RBI governor is saying. RBI governor is saying something from some perspective and context. You help me understand from your logic how will inflation increase in inflation cause recession?
like when inflation increases, the purchasing power of people it decreases. So
Okay.
so what will happen is like people will start like buying lesser, or means the purchasing power will decrease. So like the growth or the goods in the markets, a time will come when the mm, price will go to a certain level that people might stop buying them, or it
So
can
then
go the
then the price will come down, isn't it? If let's
but
say the people reduce, start contracting their demand,
Mhm.
and there is supply in the market, and the price has gone up to certain level, The moment people stop, the moment people, stop contracting their demands, the price will come down, isn't it?
So, but then again, the supply side will also face shortage, because in this recent times, because of all the geopolitical issues, supply side is also facing a shock. So the price is also increasing, and there will be a supply side crunch also, sir.
So
And
is
if
this is
people,
this is this inflation, or there is some other term for this?
I'm not very sure about that, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Ayush, tell me, why do you think you should go for IIM Lucknow?
So, first of all, sir, I would like to inculcate the value that is given to me, all the value-based learning that I'll be having in the next 2 years. I want to raise my level and serve the business and the industrial organizations in the country in a better manner. At IIM Lucknow, sir, I've seen there are like committees with respect to which can cater to my field of interest, as in operations and finance. There's like operation interest group and SIGFI, which will help me to understand and make an informed decision as to which part of MBA I would like to pursue when I go to IIM Lucknow. And secondly, sir, there is like media cell, and I was a part of News and Publication Society back at BIT Misra. So that is something that I would like to join. And there's Club 42 also, which will like cater to my literary inclinations. So those are some of the things. Apart from that, so I will be having exposure to people from not only PGP, there'll be PGP ABM people, there'll be PGP SM people, and there are some other aspects also, like we have a great faculty and the corporate culture that is there, so that will help me grow myself, and then I'll be a better decision maker, sir, down the line in 2 years, sir.
So people from SM, they don't reside in the campus. They have a different campus.
Yes, sir, they are at the Noida campus, sir.
Right.
But so in different events, and the faculty also, they'll be there, and we can have that connect, sir.
Yeah. Got it. Ayush, I think fair. Help me understand, why would you want to do an MBA? You are working at a firm, which fires people, very randomly. Is that fear causing you to take a decision of an MBA, or what's your take on this?
I mean, with respect to the company, it is a firing, but then the decision to start MBA was like when like in June last year, when I was working, and then I realized that okay, like my knowledge is limited, and I want to see what are the other phases of organization. How does marketing work? How does finance work? How does proper operations work? And like I wanted to pursue initially the inclination towards operations was only there because I did my engineering from production engineering. So I had a bit of interest in inventory management, production planning, and control. So that the inclination and everything started from back there only, sir. And like being a part of this organization, I've learned a lot, sir. It has helped in my growth as a person, but I want to go for an MBA because I want to have that like academic training, a proper pedagogy for the next 2 years, sir. And that will help me like to be someone who will be able to like not only go for profits of an organization, but I can be someone who can balance profit with purpose in the coming times in my life, sir. So that is something that I would uh, proceed with, sir.
Got it. All right. Ayush, before we close, any questions or any thoughts you have?
No questions as of now, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ayush.
Yes.
All right. So let's close this. Ayush, I think good interview. I think it's good to see your interview. It's good to see the confidence, and you've taken the answers really well. I think very good. थोड़े बहुत पोइट्री के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं, तो वो थोड़ा सा देखना. उसके अलावा थोड़ा बहुत पॉलिटिक्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, तो वो थोड़ा सा देखना, because now politics is hot, because of the exit polls. So I think these are two aspects which which we did not touch upon. I think purpose wise, mostly I have touched upon the questions. I think mostly with the kind of confidence that you bring, you seem safe. Okay, so fingers crossed. I think you should do well. Also, prepare a question for the end. ओके, सो डू प्रिपेयर अ क्वेश्चन. अभी तुम मॉक इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो तो ठीक है, चलता है, बट एक क्वेश्चन जरूर प्रिपेयर करके जाना. डोंट वेस्ट दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. ठीक है ना? So I think mostly this from my side, Ayush.
So that economy wala question, like how can we attempt it in a better manner? Because I saw like I was wounding myself in a loop, and somehow it was something that could have harmed.
I think it was, I was not expecting also you to answer, so therefore I was all right. So questions like those are not make or break. अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल फॉर एन इकोनॉमी ग्रेजुएट, कोई इकोनॉमिक्स का ग्रेजुएट है, अगर वो नहीं ये आंसर बताता तो मेरे को थोड़ा सरप्राइजिंग लगता. ठीक है, बट आई थिंक तुम्हारे केस में जो आंसर था वो पार्शियली करेक्ट था. ठीक है, इन्फ्लेशन सो आइदर इट इज इन्फ्लेशन और it is recession. So for example, recession is degrowth in 2 consecutive quarters. It's not only degrowth. Okay, so अब for example जैसे तुम if it's about rate hike is also something which is responsible for recession. It can be responsible for recession. उसके बाद जो तुमने इन्फ्लेशन वाला सिनेरियो बनाया जहाँ पे फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन्फ्लेशन भी है और सप्लाई साइड में भी क्रंच हो रहा है, that scenario is called stagflation. ठीक है, तो ये एस्पेक्ट है. therefore मैं वही पूछ रहा था कि इस सिनेरियो को क्या बोलते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये बहुत डेंजरस सिनेरियो होता है किसी भी इकोनॉमी के लिए. स्टैगफ्लेशन इज लाइक डबल साइडेड क्रंच. ठीक है, तो ये थोड़े बहुत एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. आई थिंक डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. इसमें बहुत डिटेल में इट्स नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड आउट ऑफ एन इंजीनियर एनीवेज. थोड़ा बहुत बेसिक पता होना इज ऑल राइट. वी हैव डन 2 सेशंस ऑन इकोनॉमिक्स, उतना देख लो. ठीक है, उसके अलावा जो हमने इकोनॉमी, इंडियन इकोनॉमी के ऊपर सेशन किया है और बजट सेशन किया है, उसको देख लो. आई थिंक यू शुड बी फाइन. उससे ज्यादा डेप्थ में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है,
बजट वाला ऐप कवर्ड.
हाँ,
just I had one question, like when they start getting deep into the graduation subject, so there's a point we know कि मतलब यहाँ तक हम लोगों को पढ़ाया, and like beyond that I was not taught. So if they start कि नहीं ये तो है, like humbly I can say एक बार 2 बार 3 बार कि sorry sir, not able to recollect, but then means I know कि that part is not there in my UG syllabus. तो ऐसे केस में what should we do? मतलब should we like tell them कि सर मतलब शायद ये नहीं पढ़ाया गया है मुझे, या फिर
नहीं
like,
पढ़ाया गया है नहीं बोलना चाहिए, मैंने नहीं पढ़ाया बोलना चाहिए. ठीक है,
मतलब वही, मतलब I usually say कि I'm not able to recollect at this moment.
हाँ, so I think that is the right answer to give. You should not say कि मुझे नहीं पढ़ाया गया है. ठीक है, क्योंकि उसको लगेगा कि मैं इसका फैकल्टी बनूंगा, ये भी जाके इंडस्ट्री में बोलेगा कि इसने मुझे पढ़ाया नहीं, इसीलिए मेरे को नहीं आता है. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच क्रिएट्स अ नेगेटिव इंप्रेशन. तो
that's why yes.
है ना, तो अब अच्छा यूजी का सिलेबस भी चेंज होता रहता है. ठीक है, तो हो सकता है when this person was in touch he had seen that as part of UG syllabus. अभी तुम बोलोगे तो maybe he'll not realize it. तो I think don't take chance. ठीक है, मतलब it's okay. है ना, और वो बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे, और बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में जाएंगे भी तो अंडरस्टैंड आयुष, they know they are only trying to test you. Stay composed. There'll always be some questions where you will come back. तो वो कम बैक के लिए हमेशा तैयार रहना चाहिए. ठीक है, लास्ट बॉल पे सिक्सर मार के भी मैच जीता जा सकता है. ठीक है, तो बस ये पॉइंटर है. विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा है, इसको कैरी करो एंड मेहनत करते रहो. आई एम श्योर यू विल डू वेल. ठीक है, गॉड ब्लेस यू. बाय.
Yes, bye. Good night.
Good night.